The first atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, a military base. If Japan does not surrender, bombs will have to be dropped on her war industries, and unfortunately, thousands of civilian lives will be lost.
8, 7.
It took the bomb 43 seconds from the time we dropped it at 30,000 feet until the time it exploded at 18,000 feet. The first thing you saw was that large white cloud that was up well above our altitude. If you look down to the city of Hiroshima, it just looked like a pot of boiling oil covering the city.
6, 5.
To say it was frightening is an understatement. I think it shocked us all into silence. When the flash hit you, you could see the x-rays of your hands through your closed eyes.
4, 3.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
2, 1.
I bomb atomically.
Welcome to the Atomically Podcast, the only podcast where Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define how we'd be dropping these mockeries. I'm here with cousin J-Mac.
What's up, what's up?
And Mr. Joey Colombo.
In the words of Mr. Robert Tepper, there is no easy way out.
Yeah? Sure, who's Robert Tapper?
He's the guy who's saying no easy way out.
Naturally. Yeah, it's good to be back. Had back after 2 weeks. Gonna be talking some music today. Before we get into that, though, just want to say check out our link tree. It's going to be in the description for the podcast and the YouTube video. That's got all of our socials, the WordPress blog. Highly recommend you guys check that out. Put some cool stuff up on there. You guys got anything to add to that? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, hit us up. We're going to be covering some stuff soon. We have our website, Atomicallypodcast.com, where you can not only catch the link tree in the podcast, but articles that are slowly getting churned through the windmill. Other than that, send me a tweet at BombAtomicallyPod.
Yeah, Joey's
Bomb Atomic Pod. I'm sorry.
Bomb Atomic
at
Pod.
Bomb Atomic Pod. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, Joey's a little lonely during the days. He likes to, get his little Twitter beefs. Real quick,
Yeah.
Also, I just want to plug TNT, Dynamite Pods, my other podcast with my buddy Tom, the Tom and Tone Show. We're back up and running again. We've actually done 2 episodes 2 weeks in a row, which is the first time we've done that in months. So we're churning some back out there. Check that out. I'm excited for this episode. Changing it up a little bit. First episode we did some TV. Last episode we did Mandela Effect and the movie. Now we're transitioning into music. So we're going to be giving our top 5 favorite songs in movies, as well as some honorable mentions at the end, and we're going to hopefully get into some good discussions. So we're going to do a little serpentine draft, according to Joey. Does anyone want to go first? No? Me? Okay. I'll go first.
J-Mac, this is your cockamamie idea, so you kick it off.
There you go.
Oh, you want me to jump it off? All right.
Sure.
Yeah, my cockamamie idea. I like. All right. Fucking okay. 5 actually, I decided to go with from the movie Get 'Em to the Greek, because this scene is like one of the funniest scenes in the world to me. But when they play Come On Eileen while they're smoking the Jeffrey and they all start freaking out and shit, I love that scene. It's one of my favorite scenes in that movie. Definitely just one of my favorite scenes in general, when they're rubbing the furry wall and all that kind of crap, and fucking Puffy's chasing them down the hallway. You cannot outrun me. I am black. He's screaming at him. It's hysterical. So, Come On Eileen, Dexy's Midnight Runners. Pretty sweet song.
Yeah. Sweet song. Great
Pretty
movie.
sweet scene.
I want to say Diddy was awesome
Come
in that movie.
On Eileen. Wow, I was not expecting you to bring fucking Dexy's Midnight Runners onto the podcast here.
I mean, there's so many movies, there's so many songs that remind you of shit. The top 5, I was trying to go with stuff that is a little lesser known, but that I enjoy. So and also before we keep going, you mentioned the TNT Dynamite podcast. Just want to shout out Tom. I enjoy Tom a lot. We got to get him over here.
We will get him over here at some point.
Hi, Tom.
Tom, hope you're listening. I thought actually when you said get him to the Greek, I thought you were going to say Inside You. The song that Alpha Snow sings.
Yeah. Well, I got a honorable mention thing for a couple fake songs. I don't have that one on there, but I got 2 other fake songs from movies that I'm a big fan of.
Okay.
So we'll get into a smorgasbord after our top 5.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
All right, Joey, what do you got?
Mine's like the polar opposite of yours. Mine is Leonard Skinner, Freebird. Devil's Rejects ending. Like, total opposite of fucking Smoking the Jeffries. You know what I mean? This is Otis, baby, and Captain Spaulding's, like, last hurrah, or so we thought, right? Barricaded up. The police are there. They've done, like, these fucking horrible things, but yet we root for them in some odd, weird-ass way. And, like, Freebird, like, fits their outlaw, rebel, and free-spirited, fucking nature. I mean, it's a scene that's just bloody, violent, brutal, and beautiful at the same time. One of Zombie's probably best scenes out of all of his films.
That's not saying a whole lot.
I don't know. I disagree. Zombie's got some amazing stuff. That could be.
I'll be honest.
I don't know.
I'll be honest. I've never seen Devil's Rejects. I am a fan of the first Halloween he did, not the second one. But I thought the first Halloween he did was pretty decent. But
I tried watching Lords of Salem like 3 times, and I still can't get why people enjoy that movie.
Oh man, so good, Lords of Salem.
Yeah,
I get the first time I saw it, I was bored to tears. It did get better on the watches, but I don't think it's anything that makes me like look forward to like his next thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really kind of like 38 hot about this Munsters remake, especially with his wife playing Lily. But it was funny all the memes that came from that of like her playing Jaws on the poster of Jaws coming up out of the water and stuff. Like Rob Zombie's Jaws and she's Jaws and shit. So it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I will say one last thing about Rob Zombie. I think he's kind of a hypocrite, just because like he has this kind of persona, the heavy metal music and the gory horror movies, but then he's like a vegan and shit. So it's like, I don't know. Like I just picture him just eating like raw steaks for fun. Like I don't know, because he's all about the blood
just
and
like
the guts.
Steak and eggs in a blender.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Just like once I heard he was like a vegan and like into yoga and shit, I'm like, I know you could be diversified and stuff, but that was just a little
lamb shank smoothies. But like just to like continue with the choice, because again, this was like fucking insane, and I'm like, all right, I can choose things in the movies. It's some of my favorite movies, but whatever. Long story short, this like romanticized Firefly family that from the first movie, House of Thousand Corpses, horror, classic throwback, right, chainsaw style, blah blah blah, to this Western-esque outlaw on the run movie, and the ending scene with again Freebird, Leonard Skinner, it just fits the bill, man. And, going out in like a blaze of glory, aka their inevitable death. But the ending of that movie until the next one came out, of course.
Yeah. I mean, Freebird's a great song. I'm not going to sit here and deny that.
Yeah. And like a firefight to Freebird, especially in the end when it picks up, it's just like sick.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right. So because it's a serpentine draft, I'm going to give 2 now. The first one, I don't want to say this is a throwaway, but I don't have a lot to add to this, but 8 Mile, Lose Yourself. That might be one of the best like original songs made for a movie, in my opinion. I'm also a huge Eminem fan. I mean, I grew up listening to him, which might explain some things about me. But and then my second one, I'm going with the ending of Full Metal Jacket when they're singing Mickey Mouse, the Mickey Mouse Club song. I don't know if last time you've seen Full Metal Jacket, but it's like they're walking through this war-torn hellscape, fires, destroyed buildings everywhere, and obviously Full Metal Jacket is like an intense movie, and then to just end it with the Mickey Mouse Club song. And I started looking into it because the first time I saw that movie, I'm like, this was before I even knew about Kubrick like that and all this other stuff, and I was like, why did they choose that song? Like, it was such a weird song to put in there. But then I started like looking into it, and it's like, you know, America during the Vietnam War was out there trying to bring freedom, right? And what's more Americana than Disney and Mickey Mouse, you know? So it's like this kind of like horrific, like, here, you want freedom, we gave you freedom kind of deal. And also just kind of the whole loss of innocence thing. You know, because most of those guys in Vietnam were still kids, or had just, you know, been kids a couple of years prior. So it's like seeing them do all this horrific shit, then to cap it off with some Mickey Mouse was, I like that. I like that.
Nice.
Yeah. So those are my picks. I guess back to Joey.
It goes back to me, eh?
Yeah. Little serpentine.
Also goes backwards now.
Yeah.
Back to me.
And then you get 2 picks on your next one.
I'm very confused about the serpentine now.
I'll chaperone it. I'll make sure we don't
you got to quarterback this shit.
QB. Yeah, so for my number 4, I'm going to choose... It's a song that's a cover, actually. The original song was by the Beatles. And this is an opening scene to the movie The Craft. You know, the movie featuring Fairuza Balk and a couple of those other chicks, Neve Campbell, and I can't remember the other 2 girls' names, and I feel horrible.
I've never
Gosh
seen
darn it. Robin Wright. I want to say Robin Wright. And I don't know the other one.
What's her name? The black girl just turned like 50-something the other day, and she still looks exactly as she did in The Craft.
She's the one from Half Baked, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anywho, it's, the opening song is called Tomorrow Never Knows by Our Lady Peace. And that opening scene, man, like when they're in the sky and everything, it just totally sets... Well, if you go back and listen to when we covered The Craft on... I don't remember which podcast. Was it ours, J-Mac?
No, you did it on Horror Mafia.
Horror Mafia. I don't even know if that exists in the ether anymore. You know, I go into a whole breakdown of the opening scene, but yeah, man, I'll never forget seeing that. And like, I'm pretty sure it was in 7th grade. I want to say I was in 7th grade when The Craft came out, right? And, you know, there's some other cool songs on that soundtrack, but again, Tomorrow Never Knows, just the riffs. It's like you feel like you're floating when you hear it. And again, the opening scene when she's coming to the new town, you know, tomorrow never knows, right? I mean, you don't know she was not expecting to land into witch territory, right? So, and again, the Beatles freaking wrote the damn original song, you know, it's from Revolver. I mean, it's Lennon drew the inspiration from LSD, so you can't go wrong with that one. Hence the trippy kind of riff with the, like, it has like this like sitar in it, and it has like this electric acoustic, a tambura, and Hammond organ, you know, so it has all these like psychedelic sounds going through it, and yeah, man, fucking rocks. Tomorrow Never Knows.
Nice.
Both versions.
Nice. All right.
Dope.
J-Mac.
All right. Next one I got comes from the movie Menace to Society.
Ooh.
And it is Dope Man by NWA.
Nice.
They play that in the scene when Kane goes to the house and the trap house and basically buys, you know, he's reeing up and the guy lets him cook crack in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. And as he's cooking it up, if you just listen to that whole first verse, what Ice Cube is saying basically describes the entire movie, that way of them living. I mean, the word, they couldn't have picked a better song for that specific scene. You know, we actually covered Men's Society on the second season, I guess you'd call it, a Slice and Dice. Yeah. So you can find that on YouTube somewhere if you want to go back and hear me and Joey relive our thug life past. Because we chopping it up with Bill and Jerry on that one. So, you know, there's just, I mean, it is like literally the perfect story about, you know, a drug dealer talking about, you know, making much dollars on the 1st and 15th. Then everybody gets their checks. They're coming to the dope man, you know, like it's just a lot of, if you actually pay attention to the words, it's dope. So, yeah. And Men's Society was one of those movies that when, you know, it first came out, you know, I was young enough where, like, if you saw it, you were, like, kind of considered cool. Like, you knew about it, you know, kind of ultra violent, you know, hood story or whatever you want to call it. Pretty dope. So
nice.
And then I run again, right? For this next round, I go.
Yeah.
All right. This one from switching coast as far as gang movies go. I got In the City by Joel Walsh from the movie The Warriors.
Hell yeah.
And then when they're on the beach, that thing's playing, man. It is. It just perfectly wraps it up. Like, you know, Warriors, if anybody listening hasn't seen The Warriors, which shame on you.
Wow.
But it is streaming free on Prime right now. So dig into that if you haven't gotten a chance. It is, you know, quintessential New York City of that time.
Yeah, I've seen that. I saw that years ago. I got to rewatch that. I know I'm like you said, I'm the baby of the podcast. A lot of these movies you guys are mentioning might be like different time eras, but I'm trying to keep up here.
God, we're not fucking that old, man.
We're hanging out with this little fucking 6-year-old bitch is really killing me.
6-year-old with a beard.
Damn.
I've had a beard since I've known you, you hairy fuck.
Popped out the womb with a beard,
I can't help it. I'm Italian. We're
We're
hairy. We're
full
perfect.
head of hair and a full set of teeth.
Yeah, that's the rumor going around.
Oh shit!
Nice.
It's the rumor on the block.
So you gave 2, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so back to Joey now.
Oh yeah, my turn again. All right. This one, number 3. Yeah. Right.
Yep.
Number 3. I'm gonna take it back to the year I was born, 1984. Another oldie, but a goodie. And I feel like this one never, like, you never really hear this one on the radio. Like songs like Footloose, Kenny Loggins, or like Eye of the Tiger, and like Maniac from Flashdance. You know, those are like iconic. You know what I mean? You'll hear that on like Q104 in New York City and other classic rock stations around. But this one, it's 80s jam, and it goes back to another one of my favorite non-horror movies. And you can catch season 4 of its adaptation December 31st on Netflix, Cobra Kai, The Karate Kid, and that's Joe Esposito's "You're the Best."
You know,
You're the Best Around by Joe Esposito. Like, right, Jim, mate? You'll never hear that on like Q104, really.
Oh,
you know?
Hell yeah.
That should fucking get you hyped, bro. I'm on the court shooting hoops, and it comes on my AirPod, and I'm just like, and that shit starts falling out of my ear and everything, you know? But yeah, man, it's friggin' amazing, that song. It gets you hype, you know? And really, it's like, it's really not like a complex, or it's kind of a basic song if you like really break it down. But at the same time, it gets you fucking hype, you know? And that's something about pop music that speaks volumes, you know, and why, again, this like 3.5 minute song structure has been working for the last, 70 plus years. And yeah, again, You're the Best Around, Joe Esposito, man. You could also find that making a cameo in South Park in an episode where Randy Marsh gets into a bunch of fights.
I thought this was America. Is that the one? He's fighting at the Little League games and stuff?
The Losing Edge. That's in it, yeah, when he's at the baseball game. Yep, you got it.
I thought this was America.
I have a playlist on my Spotify that's named the Babylon Club, and it's all like songs from the fucking 80s and shit that I made. The Babylon Club from Scarface, and that song's on there. It's one of the 80s songs. Before anybody else goes, I don't know if you got anything else from Karate Kid. Tones, anything from Karate Kid?
I just want to say I did know this movie and song. Just putting that on the record.
Okay.
All right. I was gonna real quick. This movie got passed up on Rocky 3, Eye of the Tiger, and Maniac Flashdance. Those movies could have had this song, but they opted out.
Really? Yeah. But just since we're on the topic of Karate Kid, there's a movie from Karate Kid that every time I hear, I can't help but think of the Karate Kid, and that song is "Cruel Summer" by Bananarama.
Oh, hell to the yeah!
When they're on the beach and he's playing soccer with Ali, kicking the ball,
absolutely,
like first time.
Bro.
They're playing, "Cruel Summer's" on. So anytime I hear "Cruel Summer," it's just I go back to that scene I'm about to get into with Johnny and the boys from Cobra Kai for the first time.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, I watched it this year. We talked about yearly watches, right? In our chat earlier. This is a yearly watch for me, hands down.
Oh yeah, Karate Kid is the best.
My wife thinks it's like ridiculous. I'm like, dude.
I'll give it maybe the sequels are a little ridiculous. By the time we get to the third sequel, it was a little like, what the hell is going on?
And of course, The Moment of Truth by Survivor. Sorry.
Yeah.
Love that one too. Yeah, so up next.
Yep. I'm up. I got two. So I'm going with the song from Goodfellas right now. Now, I can't remember if this was on the episode last week or if this was in the chat, but I mentioned Goodfellas and you guys were talking about Layla. The song.
That was the last episode.
I think it was on the episode. I wasn't sure if we were on air for that. So you mentioned Layla, and I knew what song you were talking about. I didn't realize that was the name of it. Like, I never made the connection, but that's not what I'm going with. I'm going with the restaurant scene in the Copacabana, Then He Kissed Me by the Crystals. I just love that scene. The fact that it's one take. I love when movies or TV shows do that, when they do like a whole long take in one shot. And I was actually reading up online about that scene, and apparently it's like a metaphor for the whole movie. And I started looking into it, and it really is kind of. So I found the clip on YouTube, right? And the first thing they show is when he's picking her up at her house, right? And he's got the cross out, and she's like, "Oh, you gotta cover that up. Like, my mother thinks you're half Jewish." So I started thinking, okay, well, he's also half Italian, half Irish, right? So while he's pretending to the mother to be like, half Jewish, he's also kind of pretending with the mob that, like he's more Italian than he is, kind of deal. And also just how he goes into the restaurant. He goes in through the back door. It's supposed to be a metaphor for, like, how he achieves his status and his wealth. There's all these normal people waiting in line. He just cuts right through the line, goes through the back door. Right when you walk in, there's like a jungle painted on the wall, right? So you're going through the jungle, nitty gritty, to kind of get that status, and he ends up with the table front and center. So I thought, rewatching it with that in mind, like, once you know that and you watch that scene, you start picking up little things. Like, another one, he used to park Cadillacs when he was a kid, right? That's how he got started. He would, like, the guys would pull up, he'd park their cars, couldn't even see over the steering wheel. What does he do when he gets there? He doesn't go to a parking garage. He finds a guy to park it for him. He tosses him the keys. So he kind of, like, he's graduated from that, to the big time kind of deal.
Yeah. Just since, it could kind of circle back to Menace to Society. The scene in Menace to Society when Kane is introducing all the different characters of the movie was purposely modeled after that scene from Goodfellas, because the Hughes brothers were huge Goodfellas fans.
Okay. Nice.
Which, I mean, you see when he's running down who, AWACS and Old Dog and all of them are, and, Chauncey and everybody. So,
yeah.
Pretty cool.
Nice. Okay, so my second one is I'm going with Reservoir Dogs, Stuck in the Middle with You by the Steelers Wheel. Oh, did I steal someone's? I saw a couple.
Yeah, you did though. I'll find something else.
Okay, I had like 3 Tarantino ones lined up. I was like, that, I went with that one of my favorite. But I mean, there's not much to say about that. Great scene, like the music going with that, like the sadistic fuck just like cutting up a cop with a razor blade, playing this like kind of happy-go-lucky song. Yeah, just great. I mean, Tarantino's great at all that stuff when it comes to, putting music into his into his scenes that just fit so perfectly. But yeah, so those are my two.
Nice.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah, that's a great scene in that movie, and like I said, it's another thing. Like anytime I hear that song now, that's all I think about is a cop getting his ear cut off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I remember being in the deli in Brooklyn, waiting for them to make my sandwich, and that came on the radio in the store, and I'm standing there watching this guy cut deli meat, and I'm thinking about ears getting cut off. It was just,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So it's back to Joey.
All right.
Yeah.
This next song is a fantastic song that you probably never heard before. It's by a guy named Leonard Cohen. You might not even ever heard of him before. He's a Canadian songwriter, poet, and he actually wrote this song that opened up the film Pump Up the Volume, starring Christian Slater. Ever seen that?
No.
Oh my God, dude, it's so good. All right, so Pump Up the Volume, it's 1990 movie starring Christian Slater. He's like this young pirate radio DJ for like his high school or whatever. And, you know, the soundtrack in general is sick. You got freaking Bad Brains and Henry Rollins. You got Sly and the Family Stones cover. You got Sonic Youth, Soundgarden, friggin' excuse me. But in the movie, it's a cover that it's not Leonard Cohen's original. It's by the Concrete Blonde. So Leonard Cohen wrote the original song. In the movie, it's a cover. Now, this friggin' song, man, so good. I want you guys to hear it because it's kind of like bugged out a little bit. It's got this like somber tone, right? And it's like, everybody knows the dice are loaded. Everybody knows rolls with their fingers crossed. Everybody knows the war is over. Everybody knows the good guys lost. Everybody knows the fight was fixed. The poor stay poor. The rich get rich. That's how it goes. Everybody knows.
We don't have to listen to it now. That was a perfect rendition in my mind.
Why, thank you, sir. And the song, you know, goes on. There's a lot more verses, and it references different, like you hear from that war and social problems. There's things that come up like religion and AIDS and things that are, you know, taboo topics that you don't hear in pop music, really. You know what I mean? And this movie, Pump Up the Volume, right? Again, he's like this young, pirate DJ, right? Like he goes on the air, and they don't know who he is. He's anonymous, right? And like all the high school students, and he's called Happy Harry Hard-On. And I can't remember if this is based on a true story or not, but nobody knows who it is. And, you know, I don't want to give the end and all that stuff out, but dude, it's really a good movie. I caught it one day on cable randomly, like, what the frick is this, you know? Like, it opened up with the song Everybody Knows, which actually stems back. The first time I ever heard it was long before that, when I was a teenager in sophomore year of high school. Our English teacher used to play music, like when we took tests or whatever, and frickin' that was the one song he always played, and the classes always loved it. Everybody knows, because it's like this weird, somber, you know, sarcastic sounding song, but very serious, you know. Anywhoots.
I just hope we don't get DMCA'd for you singing it, but I think we should be good.
Oh shit! Imagine that one.
I think we need to make all the times Joey sings on the show like a downloadable thing on the website.
Bonus content.
Yeah.
That's a Patreon page.
Yeah, man. So I not only checking out the song, but check out the movie, because you guys would probably love that shit. It's really a good story. And it's like, fucking fight the system. That's right up our alley.
What's it called again? One last time? The movie?
Pump Up the Volume.
Pump Up the Volume. Okay. Might have to
Pump
check
up
that
the
out.
volume. Pump up the volume. Dance.
It's like, I was about to say, it's as 90 as it gets,
Yeah.
man.
Between that and Christian Slater, that's immediately what I thought.
Yeah.
Had a resurgence of Mr. Robot, though. So it swings back to me now? Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
where
you
we're at?
got 2, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my second choice, I guess if we're going backwards from 5 or whatever, from the movie The Last Dragon, Rhythm of the Night by DeBarge.
Okay.
Did you ever see The Last Dragon with Bruce Leroy?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. I was thinking of the Bruce Lee movie.
And then they got the
Enter the
Vanity, Laura Winslow in the show. She got the dance show, and they always play the song in the video. Almost the entire video for the song is in the movie.
Nice.
In the little dance, the dance show scene and stuff. So I just, I'm a karate movie nerd. Plus, you add Bruce Leroy into it. It's just, that's a great movie. We should cover that down the line.
Fun fact about that movie, I've only seen it once, and my Spanish teacher in high school showed it to us. It had nothing to do with, teaching us anything. He was just like, you guys got to see this movie.
To see this.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I was like, all right, cool. I'm with it.
Oh, my God. My educating the youth will not be complete until they watch The Last Dragon.
I don't care if you can't even say your name in Spanish. You need to see this movie.
Yeah. And there's a ton of cameos in there from people who, weren't famous yet, but ended up becoming pretty famous, man. Chaz Palminteri's in there. He's the friggin' bodyguard limousine driver. William H. Macy is a behind-the-scenes, producer guy in the fucking movie. A whole bunch of them running around. But anyway. And then my first one was going to be Reservoir Dogs, Stuck in the Middle with You, but you stole that already. So, there's so many Tarantino possibilities, but one that always stood out to me was from Kill Bill, Bang Bang by Nancy Sinatra. Playing that song is almost hauntingly beautiful. I like using that expression. It annoys my wife. So...
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Like I was saying, Tarantino's just got so many to choose from. All his movies.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. All right. So it's Joe. You got one more, right?
I got one more.
Okay.
So my last choice, this was a hard one, and I was trying to think about something that really influenced me. And the movie that this song comes from is Almost Famous. You guys seen that movie?
That's the one about the
long time, but yeah,
the young kids, the Rolling Stone writer or whatever.
Yeah, Cameron Crowe. It's based off his experience writing for Rolling Stone. So what's the song that I'm gonna pick?
That I can't tell. I haven't seen that movie in years, but
yeah, I don't remember.
Everybody knows
my
the
wife
song.
know.
This song is called Tiny Dancer by Elton John. And that's not the song I'm picking.
Okay.
Believe it or not. Everybody thinks that's the song probably, right? Hold me closer, Tony Dancer. Right? But no, that's not the song. That's the song everybody knows from Almost Famous. But the song that I'm choosing is America by Simon and Garfunkel. And it's the opening of that movie where he's a kid. And I was 16 at the time, playing music, friggin' getting acquainted to classic rock. At the time I was more punk rock and stuff. And then the song plays and I'm like, dude, this song is nuts, And I'll never freaking forget the end of that scene, right? She's like, listen to Tommy with a candle burning. You'll see your entire future, and, recanting the scene, right? It speaks a lot more volumes than in that moment for me, actually, the actual scene, for me, but then trying to analyze the actual scene. But like, you know, the record goes on the turntable, and she's like, "This song explains why I'm leaving home to become a stewardess." And you know, if you think about it, at the time, so many people were going against the grain, counterculture, right? Like, a woman just doesn't leave home. You know, a young woman does not just leave home to become a stewardess, right? Like,
you don't leave home till you get married off, you know?
Right. So, you know, and like as the song plays, it cuts to the character, I forget her name, she's his older sister, like loading her belongings into the boyfriend's car. And William's looking on, right? He's just like, oh no, you know, she like puts her hands on his shoulders, looks into his eyes, right? And says, "One day you'll be cool," you know? And like tells him, look under your bed, it will set you free. And man, tell me not, like, we just did a whole episode talking about music and shit, you know, music will set you free, man. That shit will take you to places like books will take you to places, you know, hence why we're talking about this shit on our podcast, right? And again, ends the scene and then he becomes an adult, but listen to Tommy with a candle burning, you will see your entire future, you know, some trippy shit, right up my alley, you know what I mean? But again, the song America, right, by Simon and Garfunkel, fucking epic. Roast a bone and throw that one on. Come to America.
Nice. I thought when you said America, I don't know if you ever heard, there was a clip of R. Kelly doing a concert in Africa about how he was going to take these girls to America. Do you have your shots so you can come to America? And he's just talking about taking these girls home with him, which in retrospect, now knowing what we know about R. Kelly, is very concerning.
Disturbing.
Yeah.
Publicly admitting to human trafficking.
Yeah, bro, what? Sorry, little side note, but about him, I mean, the fact that he was on like MTV with Aaliyah when she was like 14 saying like, "Oh yeah, we're going out, whatever, this and that," and no one like said anything about that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, they announced once they were actually legally married, they found some state that was able to give them a marriage license when she was like 14 or something.
If you got to go to a different state to marry someone because of the law, like, I don't know, maybe you should wait a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I knew there was going to be some kind of weird conspiracy topic for today's episode. The R. Kelly trial.
R.I.P. to Aaliyah. I had a major crush on her growing up.
For sure. I think a lot of people did. She was already dead before I was paying attention, I think. But
you young chicken, you.
All right, so I guess.
Oh man, that's hysterical.
I was thinking of like a little yellow baby chick. You young chicken.
Like Chicken Little or something.
Oh man.
Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm fired.
Very underrated Disney movie, Chicken Little is.
Chicken Little. That's another one I haven't seen in a while.
Zach Braff does the voice of Chicken Little.
Okay.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
So Joey got
video
some
users.
Got some Scooby snacks over there.
Yes, I did. Let's open this up because this shit we didn't bring up. Come on, fucking Eye of the Tiger. That's the fucking most iconic fucking whatever, you know?
Yeah. I think we all, like, some ones like that, I think a lot of us were like, that's too obvious. Let's go a little different. But, so I got one more. I'm looking at my list now, and I realize I fucked up the order. So this probably should have been more like 4 or 5. But have you guys ever seen the Peaky Blinders?
Nah.
So it's a British show on Netflix, and it's really good. So it takes place in England in like post World War I England, and it's about a family that runs like an illegal horse betting operation, and then throughout the show they through various illegal activities they come to power and a lot of wealth. So the song is called Red Right Hand by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. And after hearing this song, I thought it was made for this show, but apparently it came out like 20 years before the show even aired. It just fits it so perfectly. But so I did a little research. The Red Right Hand is a reference.
Isn't it from Scream?
Yes, that song, it actually is in Scream. Yeah, so you do know the song. But it's actually, the song refers to Paradise Lost by John Milton. I don't know, Joey's the literary one here. I don't know if he's read it, but apparently the Red Right Hand.
Zombies, dude.
Is there zombies in it?
Zombies in Paradise Lost. Okay. Hell yeah.
I tried reading it, and I just, I was looking at it, and it was like Old English or some shit. I'm like, I can't. But the Red Hand, supposedly in that, represents divine vengeance, which is a pretty cool idea. But the way so every episode, most shows have like an opening sequence that's always the same. Every episode of this, it's different. It's a different opening. It's part of the story. So this song is playing, and they match it up perfectly. So the kind of the vibe of the song is, it almost sounds like a Johnny Cash type song. And then there's one line at the end of like each verse. I'm going to read it real quick. On a gathering storm comes a tall, handsome man in a dusty black coat with a red right hand. And it always, like, as they land on the red right hand, it like zooms in on the main character. It's just, I don't know, it's just badass. And it goes along with the show too, because red right hand can mean like blood on your hands, right? He's a criminal, he's violent. Also throughout the show, he's working with, because like I said, it's like 1920s England. So this is during when the Irish, with the IRA and the Fenians, when they were revolting. Apparently there was a group, like a militia group called the Ulster Volunteer Force, and their symbol was the red right hand. And one other connection is, this is also right after the Russian Revolution, when the communists started, communist scare started happening. So he just has some dealings with communists. So red right hand, shaking hands with the communists, and that's what's so cool about it, is every episode, whether he's dealing with the Irish or the communists or whoever, like they match it up perfectly, where it's just like it's hard to describe if you haven't seen it, but highly recommend the show.
Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders, yeah, it's good. It's like 6 episodes a season. You kind of blow through. It's like 5 seasons. Got a lot of good actors in it. Cillian Murphy is the main character. Later seasons, you got Adrian Brody in there. You got I forgot his name, but he was Littlefinger in Game of Thrones. He was Mayor Carcetti in The Wire. They got some good actors in there. But yeah, so Red Right Hand by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
Nice. I have a whole bunch of other stuff on here, like Nightmare 3 and 4, the Dokken songs, Into the Fire, friggin' Dream Warriors, of course, fucking
Dream
iconic.
Warriors.
Right? But like part 4, yeah, motherfucker.
There you go.
Right? Dude, freaking Anything by Dramarama, awesome. The Divinyls have a sick song on there. Sinead O'Connor has a song on there. There's a lot of sick songs on this Nightmare 4 soundtrack. And Anything, I remember looking at, I bought the boot. Remember on Fifth Avenue, they sold bootleg tapes for $5?
Yeah.
They used to have like horror movies, Faces of Death. So I had like Nightmare 4 from there, and I remember going through the credits and like finding out who it was, and like going on Napster eventually and downloading it.
You guys are old.
Yeah, we're old, bro. Napster bad. But like I also had Lose Yourself on my list. Like, dude, I'm fucking taking a run or shooting hoops and Lose Yourself comes on. Like sometimes I skip it, but when I let it go, it's just picks you up, bro.
Yeah. When I was playing baseball, because I was a pitcher, so whenever I was like scheduled to start, that was my song before every game. Lose Yourself. Just
Hell yeah.
Put that on repeat.
Definitely get you hype.
Yeah.
I also had from Us, I got 5 on it. Like, dude, look at
Nice. Yeah,
sick.
I didn't even think of that.
And then from Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke, Lowrider. A lot of stuff. Hip to Be Square, fucking American Psycho.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's friggin' nuts. Don't Fear the Reaper, Halloween.
I also want to give one honorable mention. This is actually a suggestion from Tom, my co-host of TNT. When I told him what we were doing, this was the first thing he said. Didn't even ask. He said, in Armageddon, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith.
Oh, nice.
Because that was made specifically for that movie.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah, so I just wanted to give Tom a little shout out. He was.
Speaking of great songs made specifically for movies, I think we'd be doing a huge disservice to everyone if we didn't mention Ninja Rap by Vanilla Ice from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
I thought you were going to say My Heart Will Go On from the Titanic.
You also got to talk about Good Enough by Cyndi Lauper for the Goonies. The Goonies are good enough.
That's a good one right there.
That's
good enough. I mean, all this 80s shit is the bomb, Fucking.
It is the best, bro. You got On Our Own, Bobby Brown song for Ghostbusters 2.
Wow. I heard the new one was actually good. New Ghostbusters.
No, I want to see it, man. I was trying to go last weekend. I couldn't get there. But
what about Kokomo Cocktail, Tom Cruise?
Yeah, nice. I mean, hey, Tom Cruise, and somebody brought him up before.
Top Gun.
Loggins, but Top Gun, Danger Zone, man.
Danger Zone, freaking that other song by yeah, that one, Fuck, who was that?
There's
I can't remember.
We spoke a little bit about Rocky IV, and we spoke about Eye of the Tiger, Survivor, but what about Burning Heart?
Burning Heart, yes.
During the training montage, right?
Training montage, hell yeah, Up the Mountain. That whole soundtrack, beginning to end, is James Brown, Living in America.
Oh, hell yeah.
There's this other song called Sweetest Victory on there.
Personally, my favorite is Rocky 3, but Rocky 4 soundtrack was ridiculous.
Ridiculous. That's like the best soundtrack ever, dude.
It is. It's a great movie. I'm not shitting on it. It's just Clubber Lang is probably one of my favorite movie villains of all time.
Yeah. I listen to the soundtrack once a week, at least. There's no doubt about it. What about Don't Forget About? Don't you forget about me. Right? Classic.
Great stuff. Breakfast
and J-Mac. How can we not talk about the motherfucking Lost Boys?
I know, bro.
Cry, little sister. People are strange. Frickin' Sax Man.
The Sax Man.
Dude, I still believe. Dude, that soundtrack's also great.
Yeah.
I was just saying, I got a couple Tarantino shout outs. Like I said, I had a couple on the list, just real quick. In Pulp Fiction, You'll Be a Woman Soon by Urge Overkill. The scene where he goes back to her house and she finds the heroin, thinks it's coke.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great scene. And then my last one, Inglourious Bastards, when Shoshana's getting ready to burn the theater down, that David Bowie song, Cat People. She's putting on the makeup and film it. Yeah, that's a pretty badass one too. Like I said, Tarantino, you could go on forever with his.
Yeah, dude. Pulp Fiction alone.
Yeah.
Freaking Al Green's Let's Stay Together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Son of a Preacher Man.
Yep. I was between that and I didn't want to have a bunch of Pulp Fictions on there. Like you said, you could take a couple off there.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm gonna give my last one. Soundtrack, Saturday Night Fever. How can we not roll out without Brooklyn's own Saturday Night Fever? Fucking epic. Epic, epic, epic.
Good stuff.
One of the best songs ever.
Yeah.
Staying Alive. Dude, you fucking smoke a bone and put that shit on with some bass. Boom, 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 boom. Fucking Travolta ran up 86th Street. Dan, passing Lenny's Pizza. Let me get a slice. Oh. Right?
Yeah. I got a couple from some comedies. Dude, in The Hangover, when Air of the Night is on and Tyson does the air drums to Air of the Night.
Yeah.
That's a great scene. In Old School, when he gets shot in the neck with a tranquilizer dart and falls into the pool, and they play "Hello Darkness, My Old Friend." That thing.
Yeah. I got another old school.
Master of Puppets. When they kidnap him.
Yep, I was just gonna say that.
And when at the funeral, when he sings for Blue and he sings "Dust in the Wind," that's a great fucking scene.
Hold on, was that the one? What was the one with the wedding band? I need you now tonight. Is that old school?
He's
fucking
in
need
I
you
think
The
more.
wedding singer.
he's in
No,
old
it's-
school.
Isn't that
No,
the
he-
wedding singer when they like?
No, it wasn't the wedding singer. He was.
I forgot about the wedding singer.
Might have been in The
He's
Hangover.
in-
No, he was in The Hangover. He was in the
He
one I
was in
think
the
was
Hangover
Yeah.
too. He was in multiple movies.
Yeah.
Oh, Hot Tub Time Machine, Careless Whisper, when he has the flashback to how he messed up his chance to get signed, and he's singing Careless Whisper. I thought that was hysterical. For having an older sister and growing up at the time period I did, she watched this movie like every day of our lives for a little while, but the entire Dirty Dancing soundtrack.
Oh yeah, dude. It was on my list. I thought I fucking mentioned.
Dude,
I thought I
Hungry
covered everything
Eyes,
on my
and
list.
Swayze, She's Like the Wind.
Fuck
I mean,
yes.
come on, bro.
Dude, Hungry Fucking Eyes is amazing, amazing song. Especially if you, I don't think Weird Al actually parodied it, but you could parody it. Thunder thighs, a couple of steps and I clap and I crouch again.
Gotta go. Another one that's big in my family because it was my great aunt's favorite song. So like every time it comes on, all my mother and my aunts will like start crying and shit. But Wind Beneath My Wing from Beaches, Bette Midler. Hold on, I had like one or two more on there that popped
What's
in my
the
head.
other Dirty Dancing song? The main one. Oh, I Had the Time of my life.
Yeah, I had the time of my life. Scarface,
Ooh.
Rush Rush, Debbie Harry, Rush Rush to the Yayo. Great song. Push It to the Limit, Denny Christian. It was great because when GTA 3 came out, like the entire Scarface soundtrack was Flashback FM or whatever the name of the radio station was.
Hell yeah.
Did you see that they recently re-released GTA 3, 4, and San Andreas, like remastered and shit?
Yeah, I heard they remastered it.
Yeah,
I didn't pick it up. I already got them all on my phone.
Okay.
I
yeah.
bought them a while back. I was like, how much better could the graphics be? You know
No,
what I mean?
they fucked it up. Like it looks
Did
worse. Yeah. I don't
Oh,
know how you
God.
fuck it up like that, but they put it out for $60 and it's like supposedly a piece of shit.
Ugh.
Fuck them.
Yeah. Unchained Melody from Ghost.
Nice one right there.
Everybody knows that joint.
Yeah.
The end of Midsummer when the credits roll and the sun doesn't shine anymore, whatever the hell the name of that song is comes on. I can't think of it now. I should have wrote it. I had it written down, then I erased it by mistake because I shouldn't be allowed to touch electronics. And then my fake songs that were like just stupid shit made specifically for movies. Gotta go with Scotty Doesn't Know from Road Trip.
Nice.
Oh yeah, of course.
Boats and
Great
Hoes from
right
Step
there.
Brothers.
Okay.
And Say No More, Money More from Empire Records because it was Rex Manning Day.
Oh yeah, Empire Records. Dude,
That was
that
the
Jim
jam.
Blossom song is fucking awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got a
From that soundtrack.
couple more honorable mentions. I mean, I'm surprised no one mentioned this, but Sopranos, Woke Up This Morning intro.
Nice.
You know.
Of course.
You guys ever see Barry Lyndon? The
Nah.
Kubrick movie?
No, I actually never saw that one.
Great movie, but there's like it's actually it was a Franz Schubert piano trio in E flat. Like you would know what that is, but it's like it's like a song they keep playing throughout the movie. It's very catchy, very fitting for the film. And then last one is a show called The Leftovers. Long story short, 2% of the world's population kind of just disappears one day. No one knows like how they just vanish into thin air, but the theme for that is very good. And also there's an awesome piano rendition of Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. It's a nice little, because Metallica is usually very hard and fast with what they play, but this is like kind of a more chill, slow piano version. And then I have one dishonorable mention, and that is True Romance. The music in that movie is fucking terrible. The Little Mermaid music they got going on in the background, like whatever that music is, like I instantly thought of the Little Mermaid. It's like tropical, like whatever. Like the movie was cool, the plot was cool, the actors were cool, all of that, and then like the music just ruined it for me. I couldn't it just pissed me off. I don't know.
I can't remember. I can't remember what music was in there.
It's just
I know what you said. Like the way they score it, there's like a weird like doo doo doo. Like I can't.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it any justice, but
yeah, it's like throughout the whole movie.
I know what you're saying. It does sound a little cartoony. If I didn't think of Little Mermaid necessarily.
That's what I thought of because it kind of sounded like that kind of tropical, and that's what I'm saying. Like the whole movie's like, what are they, like Detroit or something? Like they're like
until they go to LA,
right? But yeah, I don't know. It just didn't seem to fit the movie, so that just kind of made me upset. But yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah. Casino has like every song ever made in it. And a Bronx Tale soundtrack was fantastic too.
Yeah. So do we have any more honorable mentions?
Anything else, Professor?
Nah, that's it, man. I'm contemplating if I'm going to leave you guys with an acoustic cover or not, but
just got to be careful with the DMCA. I don't know how they work.
Oh, they would have no idea of this version. They wouldn't even know.
Yeah, I mean, you could play us out if you want.
Yeah, just go and close out the show.
Okay.
Then.
All right. Yeah. Did we mention what we're doing next episode? I forgot if I mentioned that. I don't think so. I don't think I did. So we were thinking about. You wanna hold off for like a minute?
he's mesmerized.
I know he's excited. I know you wanna shred a little bit. Just give me a minute. Let me get through. So we're thinking about we're gonna do the show Hellbound on Netflix, the new Korean show. It's number 1 on Netflix right now. Supposedly it's the next Squid Games. I don't know. We'll see. So I think that's what we got lined up for next episode. We have anything else?
We got squids. We got squids.
Check the website. Hopefully we getting more articles up and things like that.
Calamari.
Blog post.
I asked I posed this question earlier to some of the other guys in the podcast group. Maybe you guys can answer this question for me. Why are these guys from Star Wars named after Galamad? We got squids.
Talking about Admiral Akbar and his people.
Yeah.
Why
are they named after Galamads?
They look like squids.
So, just to connect to that Squid Game reference, that's funny, bro.
Is that what we do?
Nobody answered me though.
All right. Yeah. So check out the link tree. Yeah. Socials.
And I had calamari fra diablo for lunch today.
There you go.
Very nice.
So we got 3 calamari squids.
I like the way it smells, but I don't like to eat it because, like, texture-wise, I feel like I'm eating a fried rubber band.
I love a calamari. All over the place.
There you go.
Well,
all right.
There's no easy way out.
Yeah. So hit us up wherever you can.
I'm not gonna scare the listeners away here.
Fuck you.
Yeah, you can start
some Galamad.
Yeah, you can start playing us out. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. Nope.